the need for nuclear weapons, while the government has been steadily expanding the number and sophistication of its centrifuges for purifying uranium. In February 2023, the International Atomic Energy Agency reported that Iran accelerated its production of enriched uranium to 84% purity, which is close to the 90% needed for a nuclear bomb. In the same month, top US officials testified to Congress that Iran could produce enough fissile materials to manufacture a nuclear bomb within 12 days. Well, it has been well over a year since that assessment, and amid ongoing hostilities in the Middle East, concerns over Iran's nuclear program have intensified. American and Israeli lawmakers have consistently vowed to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear bomb, promising to strike Iranian nuclear sites if the nation nears a critical point of capability. Tensions nearly escalated into open conflict in 2011, but the Americans withdrew at the final moment. Today, however, such airstrikes are no longer feasible. Iran's facilities are too deeply buried, and nuclear know-how has proliferated too widely. At best, airstrikes and assassinations could set Iran back by a few months until the infrastructure is rebuilt. We are now too far in the process to have second thoughts. Suppose Iran built a stockpile of nuclear bombs, including warheads and delivery systems. How would it conduct itself? Well, that would largely depend on its nuclear doctrine. It could do as India does and set up a centralized body to maintain close control over its nuclear arsenal and only use it in a matter of life or death. Alternatively, it could do as Pakistan does and disperse and delegate tactical nuclear weapons to commanders in the field designed to ward off conventional military threats. What posture Tehran adopts will determine its foreign policy. In most cases, nuclear weapons make the top brass more belligerent. This is precisely what happened with Pakistan when it acquired nuclear weapons. Just 1 year after the nuclear breakout, Pakistani-backed paramilitary groups encroached on Indian-controlled territory. Similarly, with North Korea, 4 years after its first successful nuclear test, it attacked and torpedoed a South Korean ship. A nuclear-armed Iran would likewise act more brazenly and recklessly. For instance, in the Persian Gulf, Tehran could apply more pressure on its rivals to achieve strategic goals. This waterway hosts a dozen US military facilities, including air bases in Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. There are also naval bases in Bahrain and the UAE, plus a few forward bases in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. These facilities are brimming with modern, long-range weapons. They place Iran's demographic, military, and logistical sites under American fire control. On the flip side, they also ensure the flow of crude oil and natural gas to global markets, which pass through the Strait of Hormuz. In a sense, the US military bases confine Iranian power to its geography. Tehran, however, sees it as a containment belt, a leash it desperately wants to get rid of. A nuclear-armed Iran would want to do just that, while using the threat of nuclear escalation to deter military retaliation. For starters, it could twist the UAE's arm into surrendering 3 disputed islands: the Greater Tunb, the